Listen, I hope y'all WNBA players is paying attention. They will replace y'all asses. They have Caitlin Clark. They have Paige Beckers under contract. They have Angel Reese. They have replacement players they can go get. They have a slew of rookies they are about to draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing right now might just be the most satisfying karma moment in the history of professional sports, and it's unfolding live in front of the entire nation. For the past 2 years, we've watched the so-called leaders of the WNBA, the veterans, launch a relentless campaign of jealousy, underhanded tactics, and outright sabotage aimed squarely at Caitlin Clark. They tried to intimidate her on the court, undermine her in the media, and even block her path to the Olympic team. Their plan was clear: make her life miserable enough to dim her shine, preserving their control over the league. But today, the universe has settled the score, and the cost for them is total. We now have official confirmation: the major power players in women's basketball, WNBA owners, NBC, Universal, and Peacock have made a decisive move. They're fully embracing the Caitlin Clark era and leaving the veterans behind. The headline is undeniable: the old guard lost everything, and it wasn't bad luck that did them in. It was their toxic, unprofessional behavior that made them unmarketable, unwatchable, and ultimately replaceable. While the veteran players sit at home, locked in bitter disputes that could even cancel their season, Caitlin Clark is sitting at the center of the action, shaking hands with legends, signing massive contracts, and cementing herself as the face of basketball in America. The attempt to tear her down didn't just fail, it exploded spectacularly, erasing the influence and relevance of the very people who plotted against her.
WNBA, NBC, Peacock, they're pushing on and moving on with their promo, regardless if y'all signing this deal or not, because I'm pretty sure they got a contingency plan in place. They have a contingency plan.
You need to grasp just how massive this change really is. Us, NBC, and Peacock have just inked a huge media rights deal with the NBA and WNBA. Normally, in a deal like this, the network would spend months celebrating the league's history, spotlighting veteran stars, and highlighting the legends who built the game. But that's not what's happening. NBC isn't calling Diana Taurasi. They aren't reaching out to Brianna Stewart. They're not featuring the players who spent the past year throwing shade and stirring drama on podcasts. They are calling one player and one player only: Caitlin Clark. She's been brought on as a special contributor for NBA coverage. And this isn't a coincidence. It's a statement. NBC executives studied the numbers. They analyzed the social media buzz. And they didn't just see engagement, they saw the toxic behavior behind it. The petty attacks, the bitterness, the jealousy. And they decided they don't want to promote that. They want positivity. They want excitement. They want star power that fans actually love. Caitlin Clark embodies all of that. A high-skill, fan-friendly, electrifying presence. The veterans, by contrast, represent a bitter, exclusive old guard, holding fans at arm's length and clinging to the past. NBC made a strategic, business-driven decision: cut the dead weight. And that dead weight, it's the entire old guard of the WNBA.
These sports, what they did is they flexed on them, okay? They flexed on them. Here it says, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. The WNBA is coming to NBC and Peacock. So,
let's break down exactly why this is happening. Right now, the WNBA owners are locked in a tense standoff with the Players Association. The players are threatening to strike. They're demanding a 30% share of revenue and massive salary increases. And who's leading the charge? The veterans, the very same players who refuse to accept the Caitlin Clark effect. The owners are looking at these demands and quietly laughing. Why? Because they know the reality. Without Caitlin Clark, there's no real revenue to fight over. Fans aren't subscribing to Peacock to watch the players who tried to hold her back. They're subscribing to see Caitlin Clark. So the owners and the networks made a smart move. They've realized they don't need the WNBA as a whole to generate revenue. They just need Caitlin Clark. By giving her this platform on NBC, independent of the WNBA season, they've protected their biggest asset from the league's toxicity. If the veterans strike, it doesn't matter. Caitlin will still be on TV every Sunday night, breaking down LeBron James and commanding the spotlight. She wins no matter what. The veterans played a high-stakes game with the Golden Goose, and now they're the ones left hungry.
Absolute abomination. Nike dropping the ball. Here it says, Nike confirmed to Adweek it will not run a commercial during Super Bowl 60 this year, so there won't be a Nike X Caitlin Clark spot during the game. Listen, man, this don't make
Peacock
sense.
strategy is
Caitlin
the
Clark's
smoking
sneakers
gun
are
here.
about to drop.
Streaming services don't play around. They care about one thing and one thing only: subscriptions, getting them, keeping them, and growing them. So who actually drives that? Is it the player who complains about charter flights and alienates new fans? No. It's the player who hits impossible shots, stays grounded, and makes fans love the game. Peacock has made it crystal clear. They aren't trying to market the WNBA as a whole. Have you seen their promos? They revolve around Caitlin Clark, everyone else's background, extras in her story, and this is exactly what happens when you spend a year trying to tear someone down. The veteran spent months telling the world Caitlin wasn't ready, that she should wait her turn. They tried to gatekeep the league, and the audience listened. They don't care about the veterans. They care about the player they tried to bully. The psychological blow for the old guard is brutal. Imagine being a 10-year veteran, a multiple-time champion, watching NBC fly Caitlin to Madison Square Garden to sit beside Vince Carter and Carmelo Anthony, while you're at home wondering if your paycheck will clear. It's got to sting, but it's a wound they inflicted on themselves. If they had embraced her, mentored her, shared the spotlight, they'd be part of this rise. They'd be collecting endorsements, appearing on NBC segments, but their ego wouldn't allow it. Jealousy blinded them, and petty grudges took precedence over generational opportunity. Now NBC and Peacock have moved on without them. The truth is clear. Caitlin Clark transcends the league. She's bigger than any veteran, bigger than the WNBA itself. She's a cultural force that doesn't need anyone's permission to shine. And the tactics used against her weren't just personal, they were systemic. Referees ignoring calls, coaches making sly comments, legends appearing on podcasts to downplay her achievements. Corporate America saw it all, and corporate America hates liability. The veterans became a liability. Drama, bitterness, and petty attacks made them bad for business. Meanwhile, Caitlin played, showed up, signed autographs, and respected the game. NBC rewarded her professionalism, signaling that character matters, that the fans who defended her were right all along. This is the end of an era. The gatekeeping veteran isn't the path to stardom anymore. If you want to succeed now, you have to get behind the new wave. Us, NBC, and Peacock are empowering Caitlin so openly that the union's threats hold no weight. The pipeline from Caitlin to the fans is direct, unblocked by bitterness or obstruction. The veterans can protest, tweet, or cry foul, but they can't stop it. The machine has a driver, and it's the rookie from Iowa. It's a lesson in humility that will be studied for years. The veterans held the winning ticket. All they had to do was welcome Caitlin, embrace the moment, and ride the wave. Instead, they tore it up and threw it in her face. Now they're left watching her build her empire while they scramble for scraps. They lost the media war. They lost the fans. They've lost the money. NBC, Peacock, the owners, and the audience have spoken. The WNBA is no longer a democracy of players. It's the kingdom of Caitlin Clark. The veterans tried to cancel her, but in the end, they only canceled themselves. And the revolution? It will be televised on NBC, whether they're invited or not.